Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome back in. It is our special playoff edition of the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach, broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City. Want to thank our sponsors, the original Green Turtle, of course, the Blue Ox Bar and Grill here, our friends at Bud Light, FlyLady.net, G&G Outfitters, the Ocean City Golf Club, I think I mentioned FlyLady.net, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, JCTickets.net. I'm missing one. Oh, and Ravens247.com.
You did it on purpose.
Maybe I did.
You didn't mention anything about Parkville Touch football today.
I don't
God, give us a break from
Don't
that.
have enough time on that one. Oh man, guys, quickly because we're gonna preview the Patriots game. Lots to talk about. But the New York Giants, they take care of business quickly. They beat the Green Bay Packers. San Francisco in an excellent game. They beat New Orleans. So NFC Championship game, the Giants, the 49ers. I mentioned that I thought that of all the teams, that's the matchup you would want, one of the two teams in the Super Bowl, not the Saints or Packers. So I think we got our wishes there. Okay, Patriots, Ravens, Patriots. 3 of the past 4 meetings been decided by 6 points or fewer. And certainly, guys, the Patriots present a much different challenge for the Ravens. You know, the Texans are a balanced team. You know, run, set up, play action, pass, zone stretch. Somewhat shorter passes in there. Although New England, they're a short passing team too, but they do it differently. A lot of dinks and dunks, screens, a lot of different formations. Very creative with what they do. This is a team that doesn't run the ball the whole lot, but they got Tom Brady. Your thoughts?
This is a football team that passes the ball to set up whatever kind of run they have, which is not much because Brady loves being in the shotgun. So if he's in the gun, he's got a back there. It's a simple thing. It's either a draw or lag draw. It's going to be one of those things. And then it's all about Tom Brady and the mismatches that he can find. And the Baltimore Ravens defense has to come with different fronts, different looks, and make Tom Brady read the defense. As John said earlier in the break, make Tom Brady find the Mike linebacker and read what defense they're in. If they stay in press, if they stay off, if they do all these things and you keep that same look, he will eat your lunch. He will have you calling mama, get me off this field because you're embarrassing. So this is the Ravens' job defensively. Change everything up. Chip those tight ends if they're inside. Make sure a linebacker bangs them. And find some matchups and put pressure on Tom Brady.
Really scary, Tony. New England scored 31 or more points in 8 out of the last 9 games and averaged 40.5 points in their last 4.
Yeah, well, but they played a cupcake schedule.
Okay.
And they did. They've only played 2 teams with above 500 records, and guess what? They lost to both of them. And with the Ravens, the Ravens have played Tom Brady 4 times in his career. He's got less than a 78% quarterback rating in those games. Now, as Bruce was saying, Brady likes to run the no huddle. I think in the last game against the Denver Broncos, they ran 65 offensive plays. 35 of them were out of the no huddle. And when he's running no huddle from the shotgun, he's throwing the ball almost every time. I think 19 out of 20 plays in the hurry up offense with no huddle, he'll throw the ball. So, and then when he's not in no huddle or not when he's under center, he hands the ball to a guy we haven't seen run the ball a whole lot, and Hernandez, a tight end. So they mix it up. They do a great job of throwing teams off. They try to get you out of your defensive sub packages and get you off. Keep the guys that are on the field. But at the end of the day, they haven't played real well against tough teams, and Ravens are a tough team.
Yeah, this is so tough. I mean, you feel so much better if this game's played at the bank, but. Going up there and with the no huddle, it's going to be a friendly environment for him to be able to do that. They're just tough to cover. They're tough matchups with these tight ends and Welker. And I guess Ocho Cinco, you got to mention him at some point. Deion Branch. So, I mean, and you're right, Mike. I mean, they're going to get rid of the ball quickly. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of, sacking going on. But we got to put some pressure, run some stunts, and get our hands up to tip some balls. You saw that with the 49ers, tipped a whole lot of balls. At the line of scrimmage, that just disrupts, and that means you're winning the down, Bruce. So if that happens on first down, you won first down, and then that makes second and third down a whole lot harder. So the Ravens are going to just, we haven't been too creative with the defensive scheme since the 49ers game, I don't think, when we got 9 sacks. So we don't need to necessarily sack him or even hit him, but we're going to need to at least give him something he's not expecting.
Your point is so well taken, and it's called get him off the spot. I mean, make him move, whether it's laterally. I mean, he's not going to get outside the tackles very much, but he has that way of stepping up. But you got to get him to step up. It gives you more time. And again, those linebackers with those tight ends, you got to bang them. You got to chip them. You got to hold them up for a little bit. And then I think we got to play a lot of dime. We got to play a lot of 6 defensive backs. And this game is going to be about, obviously, offense and doing some things on the field to eat clock. And then defensively, I want 2 or 3 flags early. 5 yards hold, an automatic first down. And while you hold them, I want you to punch them in the mouth. Because that's the stuff you got to do to these receivers. You got to be physical with these guys.
You're so right, especially with tight ends and little receivers like that. You got to hit them. When you run the short passing game, it's all timing. And if you can knock the timing off, it's going to make a difference.
Coming up, more of the Ravens Wrap Show as we get our final prognostications about the game. The Ravens and the Patriots. More to come. Ravens Wrap Show. We'll be back.
G&G Outfitters, Inc. is a premier full-service in-house provider of branded merchandise and marketing solutions. With over 20 years of proven experience, G&G continues to successfully produce branded merchandise for some of the world's leading corporations, associations, and teams. From start to finish, G&G Outfitters is your single-source, one-stop partner for promotional products, logoed apparel, and all of your branded needs. For more info on the services and capabilities of G&G, visit ggoutfitters.com or call 301-731-2282.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.
What's this all about?
We're giving Rich the NFL experience of a goal line dive.
Really?
There's an easier way to get an ultimate NFL fan experience. Just snap the tag wherever Bud Light is sold and you could win. Bud Light in the NFL. Here we go.
Can I make it?
On the internet, yes. Into the end zone, no.
Are you embarrassed to invite people to your home to watch your favorite football team? Well, don't worry, because you're not alone. FlyLady.net is the support you need. Join us and our more than 600,000 members and learn how to crush the clutter and game plan your way through routines that'll help you organize your home and your life. Tackle clutter and get your home game day ready with FlyLady.net.
Our playoff installment of the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach. The Ravens and the Patriots upcoming 3 o'clock game, AFC Championship game at Gillette Stadium. We continue to break down the matchup between the two. Guys, just real quickly with some of the teams they played and the wins and some of the losses. Second week, we talk about their defense not being very good. I want to get into that quickly. San Diego game, they win that one 35-21, but San Diego 3 turnovers in that one. Brady had a really good game in that game as well. Both it was a shootout, but at the end of the day, the turnovers by San Diego got them the victory. But that's one I thought they should have lost. The very next week, though, they do lose to Buffalo 34-31. Brady 4 interceptions in that game. You go down to the Pittsburgh game 25-17. And that's a game that everybody's going to say that's the blueprint. Pittsburgh played man-free, so they jammed the receivers, had 1 safety over the top. The thing I think people miss in that game, though, and I watched that game, is that Pittsburgh had 19 more minutes of possession than New England. New England only lost that game by 8 points. You give Tom Brady some more time, he was going to figure it out. He was going to figure it out, and,
But that's the formula. It is.
That's it.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, and it worked. You're right, and that's the exact same thing. And I guess it's just the last thing, taking a look at some of these games defensively. December 24th, they beat Miami 27-24. Miami was up 17-0 in that game. The defense, after a bad start, allowed the New England offense to get back into it. Buffalo the next week, 21-0. allowed the Patriots to get back
And
into it.
what weeks were they? 17
49
and 8 or 16 and 17?
15 and 16.
Okay.
Right, or 16 and 17. So just some things. This defense is not good against the pass at all. They're okay against the run. I still think, though, that it's not going to be as easy as everybody thinks it is against their defense.
Look, I mean, go ahead,
I
Bruce.
mean, there's no question. I mean, because you get caught up in stats. This defense of the New England Patriots totally has given up 400 yards per game. 400 yards. But it doesn't quite matter because you got Tom Terrific doing what Mike just said there. You're down 21 and you still win a game. You're down 17, you still win a game. I mean, you've got to be able to control the football, and you got to rattle Tom Brady because he is just one of these guys. He grew up that way. He came to New England 12 years ago, and they just win. And he feels it, and those players feel it, so you better put the pedal to the metal to him.
Yeah, you know the formula you talk about. The Steelers. That's how you beat it. But the Ravens need to execute it. So this isn't going to be easy. Even the Colts came into Baltimore 5 years ago with one of the worst run defenses in the league. We're going to run all over them, and we didn't execute. We need to execute. And this is a team. And this is a team, the Ravens, who 4 out of 5 possessions against any defense, you shouldn't go 3 and out. We haven't scored double-digit points in the second half in 5 games. All right. So that is not going to cut it. And, Tony, we're going to need to make plays, execute. Ray Rice, the offensive line, going to have to run it. Flacco's going to have to deliver good passes, and the receivers are going to have to catch them.
Well, yeah, I agree. And I think they're going to have to win the game at the line of scrimmage. And that's what we've done against the New England Patriots before. Mike, you mentioned it earlier. 6-point differential, I guess, in the 4 games with Tom
3
Brady.
of the last 4, 6 points or less.
So you're looking at a team that does win it in the trenches because obviously he wins it in the passing game. But I think with Tom Brady, Bruce mentioned it before, get him off his mark, and then certain things happen. This is a game about matchups. And Terrell Suggs, he may have disappeared over the last 4 games. This is a game he shows up again because he shows up against New England every time.
Matt Light.
It's Matt Light. He destroys Matt Light. Just like Terrell Suggs has his nemesis too. Like Andre Whitworth from Cincinnati Bengals. He doesn't do well against him. Joe Thomas against the Cleveland Browns. This is a guy he does well against, and I think he makes a difference in the game. And I think he opens it up for other people, too, up the middle.
And guys, too, I just breaking this down, it seems to me like 3rd down is going to be big. It's like the Ravens could do a great job at 1st and 2nd down, but if we get to 3rd and 8 and they sneak an Edelman out into space and we miss a tackle, or maybe they sneak Ocho Cinco deep even though he's had a bad year, or Julian Edelman, those are the things that scare me against New England.
You mentioned tackling, and that's one thing the Ravens forgot how to do in the second quarter. And when we were making tackles, they were 6, 7, 8 yards down the field. Ray Lewis was on a bunch of those tackles. But in the back in the second half, the tackling, Ray Lewis makes the big play on Arian Foster. That was a huge play, 7-yard loss, something like that. I mean, the tackling definitely solidified. We're going to need to tackle them. We're going to need to put them in 3rd and long situations and keep them in front of us.
And guys, just real quick, their defense, even though as bad as they are, they give up 21 points a game. That's 15th in the league. That it still comes down to points, and that's middle of the pack. That's not 32nd.
Well, I think a lot of those stats are sort of like, skewed because they're way up in a lot of those games, and they might give yards up underneath that add up to yards, but not points.
Right. Okay, guys, let's get our final breakdown and predictions.
Well, it's the formula is there, and like I said, it comes down to execution. I think one team's going to score 34 points, and the other one's going to score 20.
30 seconds.
And I'm saying 20 is going to be the Ravens.
Okay.
I think the New England Patriots struggle against good teams. They've proven it this year. They're 0-2 against teams with plus 500 records. Ravens are 6-0 against playoff teams. They'll make it 7-0. The Ravens are going to win this game 24-23.
I'll tell you,
Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what the Ravens got to do, because New England scores 141 points in the 3rd quarter. Their opponents only score 50. So what the Ravens got to do, come out in the 3rd quarter, and I believe in our defense, 27-24 Ravens.
Got to win 3rd down. Ravens win 24-23. That's going to do it. We'll see you next week. Ravens Wrap Show. Go Ravens. Comcast TV.
Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.